my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldSdearly.com, and today we're going to talk about how to store your decorations. And before I get started, I have to tell you good news, exciting news. We just hit 40,000 on YouTube. Thank you so much. You guys, I don't talk about the beginning of a YouTube channel, but I'll tell you, it takes a long time to get rolling. And I think I worked nonstop for the first year and I got to 1,000 followers, and it was this huge accomplishment. But just to a couple years later to be at 40,000 is just a dream come true. So thank you guys so much. I think it's actually been 3 years, but anyway, I'm really excited. We're gonna do a giveaway. So this is what we're gonna do. I have a decorating school. It's called Behind the Scenes, and we have class once a week, and an awesome community and Facebook group where we help each other all the time. But the last week of every month, I do what's called Your Turn Consultations, and I do Zoom calls with my students, and we get to go into, I show it in a Zoom meeting so all the students can see the gal's house that we're working on. But the point is, we get to focus on her space and talk about what issues she's having, and then I say what I would do, and I usually will have some example pictures to show her, and then the other students weigh in too, and so they're learning good design techniques and strategies. So I'm gonna do a Your Turn consultation for one of you. So this is what I'm gonna need from you. I'm gonna need you to fill out this form. I'll put the link in the description below. Fill out the form, and I gotta hear some information on your space and like what's bothering you about it. And then I'm gonna need to see pictures of your space, and I'm gonna choose one of your spaces and then feature that on the blog and on YouTube. So I'm gonna look at what the problems are and what your dreams are for the space, and I'm gonna give it a whole design consultation and show you examples. I'll do a design board and I'll get you pointed in the right direction. So one of you gets to win. That's my giveaway for our 40,000 subscriber mark. Okay, so back to our video for today. This has been coming for a long time. A lot of people ask me, how in the world do you keep organized with your decorations, with your seasonal stuff, with your plants and your pictures and your floral arrangements, things like that. And so I've just been thinking for a while like how I want to help you guys with this. And I'm gonna take you into some spaces in my house that I don't normally show. I do show these in my behind the scenes group, and we talk a lot about decluttering and organizing, but I don't usually put this stuff on the blog or YouTube. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the seasonal decorating. And for this, I suggest getting big bins like the ones you see behind me. Invest in those. I know they're a little bit of money up front, although I feel like we're filming in the month of January. I feel like this is a good month to find good deals on bins. Also, you could check Craigslist, but you want to get a good selection, and I do not recommend the clear ones. I like to be able to hide the contents. It gets to be too much visual clutter for me, so I like the solid color bins. And then you're going to organize all of your decorations. This is not what I call filler items, and I'm gonna take you in my house at the end of the video and show you how I take care of the filler items. Those things that don't have any specific season attached to them. So this is just your seasonal stuff, okay? And you're going to separate it into 4 categories. So you've got Christmas or winter. Mine's Christmas, and I have like 8 bins for Christmas. So that might give you like an idea of what to prepare for. Every other season, I just have 2 bins so far. So then you want to have I have 2 spring bins, I have 2 summer and 2 fall. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. It really gets the worst right after Christmas, and because it just kind of gets so chaotic when I'm setting up the whole house for Christmas. Anyway, so the first thing you're gonna do is organize them into 4 seasons. So I'm just gonna do the 3 smaller seasons so that you can get an idea, but we're gonna put them into huge piles. Okay, here we go. Once I decide who wins to get a consultation, I will be putting together a mood board, and here's some examples of what mood boards look like. This is one I did for a mother's room at a church. And this is another one that I did for just a regular nursery. So I'll pull together sources and different products and colors and textures and put them all together so you can get a feel for what it's going to look like. And then I will be doing a final blog post and video showing what the solution was and why I did it. I think that's so important. I feel like that's so missing in interior design in our time right now, where you're watching HGTV and things and you know what's getting done and it's really cool, but you don't know why. You don't know all the process and all the decisions that went into coming to that final look. So I do want to share that with you. I'm going to do that more with you guys and just let you in basically behind the scenes to see what goes on inside of a designer's mind. Okay, so I have got fall and spring and summer divided, and there's not a ton of them, but clearly there's probably about 6 bins worth of items here. Now comes the most important part. This is cataloging what you have. You're going to create an inventory. Now, I know that there are some people out there that are way cooler than I am at this, and if you are just amazing at organizing and Excel sheets and all that, I commend you, you're amazing. But if you're just like me and you just can like write in a Word document or a Pages document a list, then you can do this. So I have a page, I keep it in a file on my on the desktop of my laptop, and it's called household, and then within it I've got like my grocery stuff, my budget stuff, and then I have holidays. And in there I keep my decorating inventory lists. I have one page, one document for each season. And I label my bins, I just say the season and then I number it. So fall 1, fall 2. And then on my sheet of paper, I will have a list of what is in fall 1 and fall 2. So really straightforward. Now the trick is that when you take something out, you must remember which bin to put it back into. When you find something new at the thrift store, you've got to document it on the list so you can actually find it. But if you babysit this system enough, it will be amazing. So you'll be like, oh, I need that white platter for Easter this year. And you can just look through your list. It's just so not stressful. I don't know how else to say that. It is like, oh, I need the little pine cones that I want to use in fall this year. And you just look through your little list, go to the right bin, pull it out. It is like all the stress is gone, the digging and the frustration of trying to find stuff. So this is how I recommend doing your holiday decorations. One thing I would suggest before you get started is to get a selection of tissue paper and bubble wrap and have that on hand. If you don't have enough, like I keep running into, plan it so that you're wrapping glass items in with your pillow covers and your blankets and things like that. So the fabric will pad it a little bit. The other thing I want to mention is to have a label maker on hand. This is mine. I'm sure it's ancient at this point. So I will link a similar one in the description below, but this is my P-Touch labeler by Brother, and it just makes wonderful little printout labels. You can change the size and the font and all that. And then there's stickers, you can stick them on your bins. Okay, so now I want to talk about the things that are left out that really don't go in the bins very well. So really big items, pictures don't go in bins, a lot of faux flowers and plants. I try to not put those in bins because it squishes them. And then when you pull them out a year later, they're kind of ruined. It's hard to get their shape back. I try to keep those separate. So something like my croquet set or an awkward big shelf or something that you don't know what to do with, that's when I utilize the very top shelf here. We built these. They're kind of crude, I suppose, but you can always get shelving at Home Depot or build something like what we have. But I keep the top shelf for lamps, for signs, for even like a small stool or something, and all that goes up there. It does get kind of dusty out here, so I will cover them with plastic, and that has worked really well. That's where I also would put my miniature Christmas trees. And if these items are specifically a seasonal item, I will add them to the top of my inventory list. They're not under the bin number that the other things would be under. It's just a separate part where it's like awkward piece stored up on the top shelf. I also have a spot in my house, but I really keep the seasonal stuff out of there. Okay, decorators call these smalls. So they're the little filler pieces. So we have a little rose plant, ranunculus flowers. I have little table runners, a few tablecloths. I have some frames. I just got this at my last IKEA run. Some hooks, a few little trinkets and things, the smalls, okay? So I keep these organized in the house. And then I am getting so many pictures, and I do like to keep most of my artwork in the house because if it has any type of paper or it's kind of a fragile piece, it gets a little bit hammered out in my shop because it's not insulated. If your garage or shop is stabilized with moisture and temperature, I think you could do that. Otherwise, I would have a high shelf in your house, and I just stack them like I do my cookie sheets or like books, you know. So I'm gonna do all these up on the top shelf. I'm gonna move all of my florals out to the shop where I showed you the other florals and just cover them with plastic. That seems to work really well. And then another thing I would say, if you have buckets like this or vases, you know, that you can use those to store your stems. I think that helps a lot. It's kind of a no-brainer way to store your vases and buckets and things too. All right, so let's get going. All right, we are done. Wasn't too hard. I need to run a few things out to the shop and then everything will feel nice and calm. So I hope you got some ideas and you feel like, oh my gosh, I can like tame the chaos of all the decorations I have. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning was to be absolutely ruthless as you're decluttering. So if it's out of style or it's broken or you just don't love it like you used to, keep your decorations moving out the door. Give them to people, give them to Goodwill or something. But hanging on to just okay decorations is just a recipe for disaster. I'm a huge stickler on decluttering before you do decorating. I think it is oftentimes overlooked, and it's a really key component in my decorating school. If you are interested in joining my decorating school, I'll put a link for the waitlist in the description below. And remember, we are celebrating 40,000 followers on YouTube. If you would like to join the giveaway, I am going to be working on one of your spaces. I need you to fill out the form and send me pictures of your problem area in your home, and I will choose one of you and I will do a full-on like e-consultation via a responsive blog post and video, giving you all my ideas and doing a mood board for you. So hopefully you guys will think that's fun. I'm super excited to see what you come up with too. Otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post regularly, and I share my professional design advice for the DIY home life. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon.